Greetings, everyone. My name is Tor, and this is Final Fantasy XIV. This is not my first playthrough. I have done this once before through the end of Endwalker to the current patch, but the game is so enjoyable and the storytelling is so good that I figured I'd take on the challenge of doing a Let's Play. This is not going to be 100% completion. This is just going to be following basically YouTube noobs' journey through Final Fantasy XIV. But anyway, those of you who are on the free trial, some of these races might be limited from you, but the races in Final Fantasy XIV are the humans, both male and female. The Elizin, or the or equivalent to elves, are typically taller. You do have male and female. You will run into them most commonly when you get to the first DLC, Heaven's Ward. Lalafell, they are the smaller stature races, similar to how the Asura from Guild Wars are, both male and female. They are the main race in the desert city in Final Fantasy XIV. The name escapes me right now. Makote is your cat boy and cat girl. Rodigan, these are large stature, both male and female. They do play more than tanks, but they are rather impressive no matter what class you're in, whether it be like a warrior or like a DPS. Aura is interesting here. You do find them in the second DLC, I want to say, about halfway through when you get to the area called the Steppe. I don't know what the history of them is, but you do have male and you do have female, and they do tend to be more warrior type race. At least according in lore, you can make your character however you wish. Hrothgar is most famously Kimahri from Final Fantasy X, but these are basically, like, I want to say lion type people, but more animalistic than the Makote, because they are fully covered in fur. And right now you're limited to only 2 males. And finally you have the Viera, which is from Final Fantasy 12, I want to say. But right now you have both male and female. The females tend to wear more risque clothing at the very start, but once you get into your class, you will quickly get more clothing options. For those of you who might be sensitive to starting off with something rather as skimpy as this, don't worry. You'll find more clothing very quickly. Anyway, I'm going to go ahead and create a character, and we will enter into the world that is Final Fantasy. So this is going to be a few seconds for you, but I'm going to go and start here. I might either cut or just fast forward here. But with the bunny people, we have 2 options. Rava. Viera of the Rava clan live primarily in the Golmore jungle. Their umber skin allowing them to readily blend in with their surroundings. Though the males stand as wards of the forest, females are adept hunters and protectors in their own right, fiercely guarding their homes and their young. Despite attempts by the Dalmascans to subjugate them, they have ever maintained a self-governing dominion. Though most would adhere to the traditions of the woods, some few have chosen to venture into the world. And then the Vina. With their skin as fair as the snow-capped mountains towering above, the Vina clan make their homes in the forest lining the southwestern foothills of the Skate Range, if I'm saying that right. Like the members of their sister clan, the Vina, live as hunters and gatherers, laboring not only to protect the woods, but to nurture them. As the winds of war swept up a number of those who left their mountain homes, many such hardened hunters chose to set out in the distant shores of Eorzea. Now, so we got our character, and the starting city will depend on the class that you choose to start off with. Now, you are not locked into these classes. Once you reach class level 10, you are free to change your class. In fact, you can have multiple classes per character, if not all of them. Gladiator, your typical sword and board, sword and shield. They start in Uldal, which is the home city of the Lalafell. Pugilist, basically hand-to-hand combat, monk, martial arts. Also start in Uldal. Marauder is another tank class like the Gladiator. They use a great axe. They start in Limsa Lominsa. Lancer is a DPS. They basically use a spear or a lance. They start in Gridania. And the Archer is also starting at Gridania. They use bow and arrow. Eventually, Archer will go into Bard. Lancer goes into Dragoon. Marauder goes into Warrior. Pugilist, I believe, goes into Monk. Gladiator will go into Paladin if you continue the class. Well, these are the Disciples of War. If you want to go Disciples of Magic, you have Conjurer, which is your typical healer. They start in Gridania. Thaumaturge is your Black Mage. They do best when they're standing still. They start in Uldal. And Arcanist, they can go either way. They start out as a DPS, but they can go into Summoner, which is DPS based, or they can go into Scholar, which is a healing class. Very interesting Arcanists. I have played them. I've done a little bit of Thaumaturge, but the playstyle didn't really fit me. And Conjurer is the easiest of the healers, from what I hear. I have messed with the Conjurer, but haven't really done all that much. But we will go with the Lancer for this one. Okay. So, obviously, I'm a veteran Guild Wars 2 player, so the name here is a throwback to Guild Wars 2. And so, with that, let us enter Final Fantasy XIV. This is a common occurrence. This gets insanely large once new expansions come out, but this will pass very quickly.
Here. Here. Feel. Hear, feel, think.
We will learn more about both the dark robed figure and the light figure as we progress. They are both characters in the base game. Oi! You alright, lass? You were moaning in your sleep and was sweating buckets besides. That'll be the ether, I reckon. Some are more prone to the sickness than others. No need to fret, though. You'll soon get used to it. Feeling better, Kupo? Aha, you can see us. I had a feeling you could, Kupo. We're Moogles. We live in this wood. Normal folks can't see or hear us, which makes you special, Kupo. And seeing as how you're special, maybe you can tell us something. The wood's been restless of late, lots of strange things happening. Have you a chance to witness anything suspicious, Kupo? But of course you haven't, you've only just arrived. Well, there's nothing for it then. We'll just have to keep looking. Nice to meet you, Kupo. Cadendia is still a fair way off. In case you were wondering, seeing as you're awake, how's about you keep me company till we get there? Them youngins don't care much for conversation, see? Birdmont's the name, and Pedlin's my trade. As for your good self-judgment by your unusual garments, I'd say you were one of them new adventurers. Am I warm? I knew it. Going whenever the wind blows, seeking fortune and glory. Now that's what I call living. So long as you can avoid dying, I mean. Ain't no secret that adventuring's a risky business. These days especially. What was it that first attracted you to it? Well, if you ain't inclined to tell, I ain't about to pry. Might as be old Breadmon's a chatterbox, but sure as hell's ain't no busybody. We'll have a secret or 3, don't we? Me? Dozens. And I'd rather they stayed secret too, which is why I don't go sticking my nose where it ain't welcome. Just remember though, there are more important things than fortune and glory, such as breathing. Ain't no profit in being dead, and that's a fact. Halt! Go no further. What's this then? Why? What's going on? A skirmish has broken out up ahead with the XL. For your own safety, you must remain here until... Bloody hells. You shall hold him here. Try to break clear. That was too bleeding close. Nice of the Ixal to send us a welcoming party, though, eh? Joking aside, this won't be the last time you meet those feathered fiends. So just as you take care, alright? By the way, is this your first trip to Gridania? It is. Well then. Let this journey somebody or other tell you the ins and outs of your destination. The city of Gridania lies slap bang in the middle of the Black Shroud, the biggest luscious forest in all Eorzea. Though it ain't near as lush as it used to be. That saying, not since the calamity laid half of it to waste. The destruction prompted a herd of new nasties to move in, and gave the Ixal unneeded encouragement. Urban raids have become a daily occurrence. At long last, behold Gridania, the forest nation blessed by the elementals.
The Black Shroud, the ancient forest, close to the heart of Eorzea. Beneath the boughs of its towering trees lies the woodland city-state of Gridania. Once a sanctuary from the world beyond the hedge, even the mighty elementals, eternal guardians of the forest, could not forestall the coming of the seventh umbral era. However, the goddess Nofika was never one to forsake her children, and today she welcomes another brave soul. One who may yet play a telling role in the tale of this great realm.
And here's where we part ways, lass. I'm off to the markets to deliver me wares. Then it's back to the high road for me. Here, I want you to have this, by way of thanks for keeping me company. Hey, you never did tell me your name, did you? Well, here's an idea. Become the sort of storied personage I can brag about having met, and I'll consider us square.
May the matron take her to her bosom, that she may never want. And in her heart, sow serenity, purity, and sanctity.
You there. Yes, you. Your face is not known to me. Newly come to the city, no doubt. I am Birchinant, a woodwiller of Gridania. It is my duty to protect our nation from her enemies while welcoming those who may yet prove her friends. Let us see what you are. Welcome to Gridania, a vibrant nation cradled in the bosom of nature. Please select the control scheme you wish to use. Follow the instructions to move your character and adjust the position of the camera. When you're ready to proceed, speak to Birdman. Okay, so we are now successfully in the game, and we will proceed from here. I'm going to stop this video here. We'll continue in the next one, as I wish to separate the intro from everything else because of all the music and whatnot. So, thank you for watching, and join us next time as we get started in the wild world of Eorzea, and namely Gridania. Thanks, and have a great day.